The following is a special presentation of Extreme eSpeed TV, your new home for everything iRacing and eSpeed.
Trucking in Mohawk, Tennessee is family owned and operated, and their main goal is to always please their customers and deliver their freight in a timely manner. If you need it hauled and you're in East Tennessee, the number you need is 423-393-4229. That's 423-393-4229. Dyer Trucking's also on Facebook. Pick up the phone and give Brad and his family a call today. Dyer Trucking. If you need it, they can get it. Find them on Facebook.
This is the premier podcast for late model dirt track racing. This is Forward Bite, hosted by superfan and actual know-it-all Kyle Armstrong on the Speed Sport Podcast Network.
Welcome back to another edition of the Forward Bite Podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Armstrong.
Dyer Trucking in Mohawk, Tennessee is family owned and operated, and their main goal is to always please their customers and deliver their freight in a timely manner. If you need it hauled and you're in East Tennessee, the number you need is 423-393-4229. That's 423-393-4229. Dyer Trucking's also on Facebook. Pick up the phone and give Brad and his family a call today. Dyer Trucking. If you need it, they can get it. Find them on Facebook.
Welcome to Bristol Motor Speedway, as it is the Pro Late Model Dirt Series here on Extreme eSpeed TV. And we have Wednesday night racing action here on the Smoky Mountain. Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Bristol Motor Speedway, as it is the Smoky Mountain Dirt Nationals here for the Pro Late Model Dirt Series here on Extreme eSpeed TV. Drivers' meeting is underway as we head here to Houston Guttering time trials. And Adam, it should be another exciting night of racing here from the half mile at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Oh yeah, the Smoky Mountain race, man. I mean, nationals like this is what the drivers get excited for. And we are officially, ladies and gentlemen, at the halfway point of the 2024 Pro Late Model Dirt Series season. Now, we're kind of in the thick of it, right? We had the, spring thaw at I-55. You got the Smoky Mountain Nationals tonight. Hey, next week you got the Illinois Dirt Classic at Fairbury. So, I mean, and then, you get that, month off in April, but I'll tell you what, as it ramps back up in Kokomo, Lincoln, Lernerville, I mean, my goodness, these are the heavy hitters. These are the classics, the staples of this series. And I'm excited to see, you got guys like Dylan Perry who have just kind of been on a tear. You've got the rookie class who has really done a good job at, dealing blows to, the proverbial body of Dylan Perry, but the man is still standing. He's showing you why he's the back-to-back defending champion. And, I speak about rookies. I'm talking about Jason Crow, who's pretty fast right now in practice. And really, you're going to see tonight, folks, it's not the largest field. I see 12 cars out there right now, all with, different, levels of speed shown in practice. And you're getting a look at just the Coliseum. In the production meeting, Travis and race director Cody were going back and forth about, is there going to be the same tire wear we saw from, the Cup Series in NASCAR? I don't know about that. There will be tire wear, though, as we saw about a year ago that change made in this series. So you're seeing the fans really pile into a heck of a – I don't know if you've been here before, Travis, but this is quite the sight to see. It's amazing when you get to see this place in person. But we're going to get about 60 laps of main event action tonight. But prior to that, we're going to – they wrapped up practice, and we're going to get into the Houston Guttering time trials. And really – right after that, as it looks like they're starting to grid for qualifying right now, really after that, we're going to get some possible Houston Guttering, Combs Cuts Last Chance Showdown. Have not confirmed that, but then you obviously have your carrier heat races. So it looks like they're getting warmed up now, starting to grid, and we'll get you some names of some drivers as they start to make their times.
And it looks like this first group will include a couple of the heavy hitters, Dylan Perry and Jacob Lassiter, both out there on pit road. Evan Hinkle has joined that group as well, Adam. So as Houston Guttering time trials about to get underway, of course, high camera angles here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Of course, the NASCAR Cup Series and Truck Series were just here last weekend. As it is going to be our former champion, Dylan Perry and his P7 Harrison Automotive, Evans Air Conditioning, Piercefield Media Group, Dirt Chasers Media as he makes his first lap.
That's right, and you're also looking at the 51 of Jacob Lassiter from Dresden, Tennessee. He's got that Team Hot Laps Heroes, Larson Logistics, Crow Trucking, and Tintec with that Rayburn Race Car chassis and custom race engine on the inside. He's got 2 wins in this series and 50 top 5s, making his 84th start tonight. And Perry puts down the fastest time. This 16.54 behind them. You got Lassiter with the 16.64. So both of them going to see if they can improve next time by.
Dylan Perry, as you can see, he is up on that outside line here to get us started.
Yeah, and he puts down an even better time, 16.43. So not an improvement for last year. Then follows it up with the 16.71. But there you go, 16.55 inches closer to Perry.
Well, it'll be interesting. Oh, as Lassiter gets into the wall there, going into the pit road. But Dylan Perry, he's someone, obviously, he's got a lot of wins this year, Adam, but whether it's strategy or what he has for a setup, qualifying has not been his strong suit as of yet this midway point of the season.
No, it hasn't, and I think it's a common theme. But as long as he produces results, no one's really questioning the tactics. As we're seeing right there, Brandon Bender, the number 22. He's one of the OG drivers of this series of Minford, Ohio, and B&B Bates and Combs Cuts. That Rocket XR1 chassis and Clements race engine, looking for his 20th top 5 and maybe first win. We may be able to see it tonight. We'll see what time he puts down. Looks to be a 16.86.
Also on the tracks, that 64, it's a rookie of Kendrick Hicks from Willard, Kentucky. Econo Cool, Shane Baylor Racing, Bernie Racing Solution, Michael Boggs Photography. Also out on the track, Adams, that 224.
That's right. The rookie, Tyler Benefield from Huntsville, Alabama, with Dylan Perry Racing, Foskey Illustrations, Rapid Race Graphics, Huffman Tire, Chip Bangers Racing, and many more with that Bob Pierce race car chassis and Phantom engine. Looking for his 5th top 10 and maybe first win, as you see Bender climb up a little bit to tie Benefield at 16.53.
So Benefield Bender will move up. That bumps down Lassiter. Hicks coming in 5th fastest here early in this Houston Guttering time trials.
And you'll see right there the rookie. I brought him up earlier on the broadcast. That 27 machine of Jason Crow from Hot Springs, Arkansas, with Hot Laps Heroes and Crow Trucking. He's got a Longhorn chassis and a Mullins race engine, and he's looking for his first win in his 8th career start here with the Pro Late Model Dirt Series, and we'll see what he can put down on his first time by.
As Jason Crow's first time will come in. Good enough for 2nd fastest, a 15.52.
Yeah, just sneaks in front of Benefield and Benders, kind of breaks that group up. And still, though, in terms of how quickly these times have gone, still a little bit of distance behind Perry.
So with this one, this will be our 6th driver. We'll be halfway after Jason Crow's time. Of course, in this Pro Late Model Dirt Series, you do have some dropped races, so guys that may or may not be here. As it looks like we might have 13. It looks like Aiden Young is now also unloaded from the trailer. As Jason Crow will stay 2nd fastest. He will improve just off of Dylan Perry's pace of 16.45.
And we'll get another group out there. It looks like we'll start with the number 11, the rookie of Evan Hinkle from Barberville, Kentucky, with Smith's Gutters and Siding, Keltner's Contracting, Smith Sealing, and Newton Cattle Farms with that Longhorn chassis and Hendren race engine. Making his 4th career start. He's already got a couple top 10s, looking for his first top 5 and maybe a win tonight.
Also on the track is that rookie. It's the 52 of Hayden Swaney from Chatsworth, Georgia.
Look at that, the series promoter himself, Cody Early, one of our OG drivers, the man behind the mission from Greenville, Tennessee, with that Bass Pro Shop, Schaefer's Racing Oil, Hoosier Racing Tires, Oakley Sunglasses, Bowman Designs, and that BMF race car chassis and Vidkill Racing engine, making his 84th career start. Looking for his 7th top 10. Puts down an 18.24. Still no one faster right now than the Perry and Crow combo.
As it looks like next on the track will be that one of Colin Voiles from Decatur, Illinois. Trimbley and Sons Concrete Building Systems of Illinois, Rich DPC, Vortex Wraps, Logitech. That's a Longhorn chassis he has there. As you see others out there, it looks like Brandon Marlowe will be that next car on the track. That number 37 machine.
That's right, Mr. Marlowe joining us all the way from Benton, Missouri with that Hot Lap Heroes Racing, Tin Tech Seamless Guttering and Crow Trucking, a Capital Race Car chassis and custom race engine. He's got 15 top fives in his career and just 32 starts, looking for his first win.
And before mentioned Colin Voiles, also out on the track. Only 2 drivers remaining after these two, which should lead to possibly 2 heat races. As Brandon Marlowe will be 6th fastest his first time, a 16.55. Colin Voiles 9th fastest, a 17.04. Brandon Marlowe will jump up to 3rd fastest, a 16.52.
So jumps in front of the Benefield and Bender combo. So Perry, Crow, Marlowe, your top 3, and it looks like we have about 3 drivers to go still. As you see Marlowe pull in. Oh, a little bit of sliding into pit road.
And then there were 2. First one out there is going to be another rookie, the 46 of Kenny Haight. Kenny Haight comes from Benton, Louisiana. Hot Lap Heroes, Crow Trucking, Tintec Seamless Gutters, iRacing, iFlag, Marco's Moose Ranch Hair Club, and Tire Center. That's a master-built race car for the 46.
And not sure if we'll get our final car out there. If so, it'll be that 69 machine of Aiden Young. He may maybe have some movement there. Ooh, Kenny Haight jumps up to 8th. 16.6 flat. So 11 drivers complete. Technically 2 not on that board. You know, we mentioned Hinkle earlier. And look at that. Haight jumps up again. Leapfrogs Marlowe to put down a 16.48. So looks like we'll watch him kind of wrap up his qualifying there. But Perry, Crow, Haight, Marlowe, Benefield, your top 5. As Haight now pulls off the track, he gets some good looks and maybe just about wrapped up here. But first, there, he made it just in time. The 69 of Aiden Young from Dalton, New Hampshire with Young Gun Creations, the farmyard store and Gambler Motorsports. With that Longhorn chassis and RPM racing engine, he has 1 career win in the Pro Late Model Dirt Series in his 53rd start. We'll see what he can do tonight. As he puts down his first time, we'll see what it is here. Around there, it looks like first time by 17.01 puts him 11th fastest. So he was not out there to run some hot laps. So these really are his hot laps. These are his first impressions of the track tonight. So we'll see if he can at least improve on the next one by. He does improve, but not enough to jump in front of that 10th place Swaney.
And like that, Houston Guttering time trials, Adam, are going to come to a close. Evan Hinkle's time did not count for some reason, so he'll line up 13th fastest. And just like that, Houston Guttering time trials will come to an end. And we're going to get ready to move on to our carrier heat races.
That's right, carrier heat race number 1 will be led by the defending champ Dylan Perry side by side with Brandon Marlowe. Behind them, Jacob Lassiter and Hayden Swaney, with Evan Hinkle starting 5th.
So they will roll out there on the track, and we're going to be racing here in a lap or two, Adam.
Crowd continuing to fill in. Love to see this. We are just about to go green from Bristol to kick off the Smoky Mountain Nationals. What better way to start it off as the paint truck pulls off than with our defending champ up front.
Dylan Perry, Brandon Marlowe lead us to racing action here. 8 laps in carrier heat race number 1, side by side for 3rd. As Marlowe will fall in, give Perry a tap as they go through 1 and 2. That opens the door to Lassiter to the inside.
And pretty racy. Rare to see Perry lose the lead so early, but Lassiter will take it. Lassiter clearly looking better after just destroying the infield wall coming at the end of qualifying. Lassiter still just milliseconds in front of Perry at the moment.
Two laps down as now Perry falls in. He'll settle in there. Reminder, this will set the pole for tonight's feature event.
Yeah, good job by Lassiter, able to kind of take that lead and hasn't really given it back, but he is getting some pressure right now from Perry.
Perry looking to the inside now as we're halfway. Big half-mile dirt track here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Times in the mid-16 seconds as Lassiter's able to pull away the front 3. Now nose to tail, 3 laps to go.
And not much movement. You know, we're not going to get the most full of fields tonight, so there will be opportunities for these drivers to kind of work in their space, and that can be a good or a bad thing. If you get enough separation, it can be real tough to catch up, but right now it's follow the leader as we see a good little move there, at least an attempt by Perry. I think he knows that this race isn't going to be won in carrier heat races, so I think he's just trying to get a feel for the track right now, and don't blame him at all as we approach the white flag and carrier heat. Ooh, a little bit of bump there from Marlowe. Perry stays straight, though. He's a veteran driver. There's just a couple turns remain for Jacob Lassiter here in carrier heat race number 1. And with that, it's going to be Lassiter, Perry, Marlowe, Hinkle, and Swaney at the line.
So Jacob Lassiter will grab the pole for tonight's Smoky Mountain Dirt Nationals here at Bristol as we are going to head on into carrier heat race number 2.
That's right, our second of 3 carrier heat races will be led by Jason Crow and Tyler Benefield. Behind them, Kendrick Hicks and Aiden Young. So a little 4-car field to get things going here on Extreme eSpeed TV.
Couple rookies to the inside, a couple guys that we've had here. I believe Aiden's going into year number 3, and Benefield here considered a rookie, but we did see him some during the 2023 campaign.
Pace truck, lights are off, so it looks like, 4 cars, not much to sort out. He'll be able to pull off here in just a moment. We'll be going to action. What's been a great night. Beautiful night outside. Rain able to stay away. We got rained out last week. Had to kind of push this race as the pace truck pushes himself off of the track, and we're about to go green once again.
Green flag waves. Good start for Benefield on the outside. He'll move up alongside Crow as Crow battles back on that inside, but Benefield's going to have the momentum down the backstretch.
Yes, he does. Single file, though. I'll tell you what, there's certain turns on this track, kind of what we saw Perry doing to Lassiter, where Crow could have an opportunity right about there to take it inside. He chooses to kind of stay right behind Benefield, though. So to each their own, each person kind of doing a little bit of a different technique. So eager to see what these drivers do, between what we see here compared to what we're going to see in the main event. So still Benefield and Crow, just a flip-flop of where they started this race. Very similar to how we saw that last one start, where Lassiter quickly jumped in front of Perry and never gave it back. That could be a possibility here.
So Benefield leads Jason Crow. Then you have Hicks in third, Hayden Young in fourth. As Crow all over the back of that 224. You know, we've got, 12, 13 cars here tonight. We've got a 60-lap feature event, Adam. I'm thinking some long green flag runs, but also if this track gets racy, it's going to be fun to watch all night long.
Oh, yeah, it is going to be long and strong. I think that's how we're going to view this tonight. Oh, a little bit of a glitch there. Oh, look at that sandwiched in there. Closest we've seen this carry heat races, but yes, I do agree that if cautions come out, and they might be for size, quite honestly. Oh, man, he's just Crow. Just staying a nuisance. I love that. Oh, a little bit of a brush of a wall for Benefield. May have lost some time, but still holds the lead. And I'll tell you what, Hicks and Crow going to have to make a move soon. We're coming up on that white flag in carry heat race number 2.
Benefield's been able to hold him off thus far. Crow and Hicks, though, right on his tail, as we'll see if time's going to run out. Half of a lap to go. Crow will look to the inside through 3 and 4. Hicks stays high. It's going to be Benefield. Heat number 2. He'll start outside front row in tonight's feature event. And just like that, we'll move on to our carrier heat race number 3.
Oh yeah, carrier heat race number 3, led by Kenny Haight and Brandon Bender. And behind them, just a couple of drivers, Colin Boyles and Cody Early.
So this will finish setting up our starting lineup for tonight's feature event. Kenny Haight leads our next heat race out there.
Yeah, you've got a guy like Kenny Haight who is in the mix with some veterans of the series, so it's fun. As the season's progressed, I mentioned earlier, this is the halfway point of the season. This has been really fun to really watch, guys like Kenny Haight who we've never, had the chance to see, at least in this series. So blending them with the veterans, it's so fun there's mutual respect, but it just kind of adds to the competition. Anytime we add a new driver, is a little bit of a prove it thing, and we're proving to have a fun night of racing as they go green. Bender and Haight flip-flop right at the start. Oh, Cody Early loses a little bit of traction, going to lose a lot of ground. So this has the possibility of really being a 3-horse race in carry heat race number 3.
That's what it is so far. Front 3 have broken out. Bender's your leader. Haight following in. One thing we haven't seen is passing for that lead is a premium, especially as they get up there to the outside. Turns into single file as of now. And, every time we've seen that, Adam, I think of, we see Dylan Perry. We've seen Bender at times break from the pack, especially in that feature early, move to a lane that maybe hasn't come in yet and try to force it to come in, at least during some point of the race. And for both of them, finishing up front, it has worked out.
Yeah, you're going to have to force it in tonight because it's just not enough. I don't think there's enough cars out there to set the grooves like they'd like. It's kind of, this is the type of track and the kind of night where I think you're going to want to find a way to somehow get up front and then hold on for dear life. 60 laps is not, it's not 100 laps. It's not, it's not 500 laps. I mean, this is going to move quickly. So there's not going to be the strategy of some of these other tracks where it's like, well, let's let the guys in front of me make a mistake. Well, there may not be mistakes made tonight. So take what you got here. because we're going to need to have some learnings. It's not going to be much. You're not given a lot of time. So a short field, there's benefits to that, right? Hey, a lot of these guys have a shot at a top 10 tonight. There's positive spins you can put on it, but also, who's still in that field is Dylan Perry. So this is going to be a night of opportunity. I think if you're a guy who finishes in the bottom 5, you have a right to be frustrated. Final lap.
And it's Bender out front. See if Hate's able to make a move. It looks like this one will end like the first two did, with the front two close, but just no move for Kenny Hate. Carrier Heat Race number 3 will go to the 22 of Brandon Bender. And just like that, we'll go on into our pre-race portion. Drivers are going to hit the track. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have pre-race festivities here from Bristol Motor Speedway as you're watching the Pro Late Model Dirt Series on Extreme eSpeed TV.
Dyer Trucking in Mohawk, Tennessee is family owned and operated, and their main goal is to always please their customers and deliver their freight in a timely manner. If you need it hauled and you're in East Tennessee, the number you need is 423-393-4229. That's 423-393-4229. Dyer Trucking's also on Facebook. Pick up the phone and give Brad and his family a call today. Dyer Trucking. If you need it, they can get it. Find them on Facebook.
This is the premier podcast for late model dirt track racing. This is Forward Bite, hosted by superfan and actual know-it-all Kyle Armstrong on the Speed Sport Podcast Network.
Welcome back to another edition of the Forward Bite Podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Armstrong.
Introducing the latest technology in the racing industry, SpringRithm. SpringRithm is an app that can replace a spring smasher, giving you access to the same information the fast guys are using to stay ahead. The app tells you where to set your coilover nuts to hit your install loads and tells you the dynamic loads that the car will see in travel. It also simplifies adjustments at the track, giving you the information needed to adjust loads without taking the shock off the car. SpringRithm has been rigorously tested to ensure accuracy. There's no excuse to not be using SpringRithm.
Welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway as we get ready for tonight's Smoky Mountain Dirt Nationals. We will turn to the public PA announcer here at Bristol for tonight's national anthem. And welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway as we've got 13 cars ramped up and ready to go here for the Smoky Mountain Dirt Nationals from the Smoky Mountains here in eastern Tennessee, just south of Bristol, Tennessee / Bristol, Virginia. And Adam, it looks like they're lining up. Jacob Lassiter, Tyler Benefield going to be on the pole. We'll get through that starting lineup, Adam, and then we'll make some picks.
Absolutely. Starting lineup for our Smoky Mountain Nationals, Jacob Lassiter and Tyler Benefield. Behind them, Brandon Bender and Dylan Perry. Row 3 will be Jason Crow and Kenny Haight. Row 4, Brandon Marlowe and Kendrick Hicks. Row 5, Colin Boyles and Evan Hinkle. Row 6, Aiden Young and Cody Early, with Hayden Swaney rounding out the rear. And yeah, you talk about picks, it's March Madness. There's a bunch of just, momentum and just chaos going on and all sorts of wagering. And I got to say, this feels like a Dylan Perry statement win to me. And it's funny because, you look at my March Madness bracket, I'm not necessarily picking the chalk every time. But I got to say, man, I just have a feeling like, a lot of these guys are going to go home like, man, that was my chance. A field of 13 drivers, that was my chance. But I think Dylan Perry is going to prove why. He's got a couple of trophies in that trophy case. So, Pace Truck, waiting to see him pull off. Looks like good timing as he does pull off. And we're going to give you some 60 laps of the best we've got.
So they get rolled. As they get side by side, do at least one more laps. It looks like the lights are off that Pace Truck, so we'll get ready to go. as they get ready to go. That pace truck should dive on off. There he goes. It's going to be Jacob Lassiter, Tyler Benefield leading us to green for the Smoky Mountain Dirt Nationals from Bristol Motor Speedway.
And they're green, green, green. Benefield taking the outside lane and leading. Jacob Lassiter trying to get inside. A little Houdini act there from Benefield. Almost pulled away and pulled out, but he's back in.
Almost 3 wide here for second. They're going to split Lassiter. Bender to the inside, Perry to the outside. Kenny Hates watching behind them from the 5th position.
We are 1/30th of this complete. I'll tell you what, it's going to be a heck of some racing action as you get a good look at that. Dylan Perry, P7 machine, and already a hard charger up 2 spots. Evan Hinkle, though, also up 3 spots in the 7th, so trying to make his move right now as he drops down just behind Crow. Ooh, a little bit of a slick and sliding right there.
As Lassiter will fall into second, Benefield falling back. He's back to 13th now. It looks like he is off the pace. Good group of racing here. See that outside line still preferred, and as we talked about in that Carrier Heat race, there's Bender down to the inside. He was someone that's not shy to cut down there and try to get that lane to come in.
That's right, and they're starting to kind of, you can tell these drivers are starting to find their groove. I think you still might see a little shiftiness, and these guys are going to try and make a little bit of a play. And right now you see that 22 Bender, the only one taking the inside. It almost looks like a super speedway of cars just drafting on that top outside lane. But not losing much ground as Bender, but you got to think if that's the preferred line for the other drivers, he may be trying to make his way. Oh, almost a little contact, and he gets some contact. Oh, into the rear. Into the wall, no caution yet, but there is damage for both those drivers involved.
See Bender into the wall. Looks like he's not going to make his way around. Colin Voiles there as well. Colin Voiles lost a tire. Always a favorite of Superfan Joey.
Yeah, Superfan Joey. Hope he's watching tonight. I know that bee sting took a dark turn, but we're thinking about you, bud. Thinking about you.
So Dylan Perry able to jump out front. Lassiter second, Haight third, Hicks and Crow will make up our top 5.
And yeah, that was an interesting situation because we were locked in on Bender at the time that incident happened, where I said, I feel like he's gonna want to get up top, and of course you see him kind of get maybe a little spooked with someone underneath him, and it kind of eventually brought him up to the wall, and that'll do it, right? Hopefully we can get him back out there with a quick fix or something.
As the drivers will make their way around behind that pace truck.
And they're kind of just single file rolling through this pace truck. Lights still on. Good reminder that we will be back in action, folks, next week. Looking at the Illinois Dirt Classic at Fairbury. It's one of the Crown Jewel Challenges. Yeah, Crown Jewel Challenge, and it'll be the second of 5 this season. And it also looks like the Illinois Dirt Classic is going to be a double points race, so a lot on the line there.
So
I want to give a special shout out to Eric in Meridian. Got a new teaching gig. Saw that on LinkedIn, so I want to give him a shout out. Not sure if he's watching tonight. Travis and I thinking of you.
So there they go. They get lined up 2 by 2. It looks like Evan Hinkle's still off the track. See if he can make his way back on there. So 2 by 2 we go. 9 laps down. 51 to go. Dylan Perry, Jacob Lassiter. Two by two, they get ready to go. Green flag waves. Dylan Perry jumps there. Lassiter will have to fall in line behind him now. Kenny Haight able to get up in there between Hicks and Lassiter in that third position. As that outside line, still the preferred line here. 10 laps into this 60-lap event.
That's right, almost to double digits on that board. It looks like the stray cat got into the booth. We'll take care of that here. As you see Perry owning Lassiter right now, they've just gone back and forth tonight in all sorts of areas, and they'll probably continue through the rest of this.
Back in the pack, one of our hard chargers, Hayden Swaney up 5-6 spots here as he battles Marlowe. That'll move him up into the 7th spot. He started at the tail of the field in 13th. Up front, got Hicks looking to the inside of Haight. They'll stay side by side. Jason Crow watching on from now the 5th spot. Aiden Young has fallen back to 6. Ooh, slight contact there with Hicks and Haight. They'll keep it going. Easy. Crow to the inside of Hicks now. Crow will slide up. Hicks unable to make that move to the inside. Now it's Crow down there to the inside of him and Haight.
25% of the way through this one.
Crow will fall in line. There's Aiden Young. He's in the 6th spot watching on now as he settled in. He started 11th, so he's another one of our hard chargers here early in this one as we're 16 laps in. Dylan Perry continues to lead. You see that outside cushion moving closer and closer to that wall as he and Lassiter just churning out laps currently.
Yeah, and this is kind of what we talked about earlier in the broadcast where they're going to hit some long green flag runs. I was a little surprised we saw that caution, just as I imagine, Bender was surprised to see it too. But this might be one where it takes us from lap 8 to lap 48, quite honestly. I'm not sure. It looks like wind is going to be a factor tonight. I just got kind of the weather report. There is a breeze blowing right now. Frigid, quite honestly, but not sure it's affecting the cars out there as they've kind of found their lane. Dylan Perry just blowing by the competition right now as he extends his lead. And look at that. Hicks is blowing past right now. Oh, he's touching. A little tip to tip there on the corner.
As they'll stay side by side through the corner, Jason Crow is falling back behind them now as he watches on. Hayden Young lurking in the shadows behind them. As this right now is the closest battle on the track with these three. You can throw a blanket over these three right now.
Real loose right there for Hicks. Still able to kind of keep pace, but you could tell there's a certain point in the track. Oh, look at that move there by Crow. Just blows by Kenny Haight.
Looked like he was shot out of a cannon as he will move into the 3rd spot. This remains one of the tightest battles on the track. Another one back here as you see the 52 of Swaney get into the wall there. That opens the door for Evan Hinkle as they have Brandon Bender up ahead. Ooh, the 52 into the wall again there. Real what looks to be tight coming off of turn number 2. He'll jump down to the inside, put some more space between he and that outside wall.
Yeah, may have given a little heart attack there, Hinkle, as he came up quickly. And I'll tell you what, yeah, and it's there's a lot of movement right now. This is a fairly wide enough track compared to some of the other ones we've been to, but look at that side by side race, and they're banging sheet metal, and this is why we love to watch every night. We're glad you're with us here on Extreme eSpeed TV as we're getting closer to the halfway point of the Smoky Mountain Nationals 60 lapper.
Battles remain tight. Oh, as the 64 Hicks will get into the wall. That opens the door for the 69 of Aiden Young, as now he goes down to the inside. He's unable to make a move there, though, as we go back to this battle for the 8th and 9th spot. Is again that 52 machine loses his momentum up ahead. Oh, and Evan Hinkle into the wall. Will stay green. But that allows Bender to take over that 8th spot. Hinkle now will reserve his spot in 3rd there in front of Swaney.
Yeah, Bender's still 5 spots down from where he started. So whatever the opposite of the hard charger is, he got charged, quite honestly. But Aiden Young is your current hard charger. He's up 5 spots, up to 6, looking to maybe crack another top 5. Dylan Perry up 3 and in the lead, but I like the movement we saw from guys like Jason Crow. Can he catch up to last year? That's step 1 before you even approach the Dylan Perry topic, quite honestly.
Swanee now just riding in that 10th spot. He's up ahead of Tyler Benefield, who's trying to move back up to the front. As Lassiter just following that P7 up ahead as they've broken away. We've got about a 2-second lead over Jason Crow in 3rd. As we get that halfway mark, halfway here in the Pro Late Model Dirt Series is important, as you will not be able to get your lap back now on cautions. No wave arounds here after the halfway mark. So we will move on to lap number 31 of 60 here at Bristol Motor Speedway, as it is the Smoky Mountain Dirt Nationals here on Extreme eSpeed TV.
Yeah, and just as you're talking, Aiden Young able to get up to the top 5, now back to 6. He's battling right now with Hicks, and if he can get that inside lane to work, just briefly takes back 5th place, gives it right back up. So that's going to be a battle to watch right there. Aiden Young, a late arrival, missed practice, was able to get there for Houston Guttering time trials, but you'd like to see him finish strong.
As we're still three-person battle here. So, as you got that 46 of Hate to the outside, slight contact there is now Hicks has Aiden Young to his inside. This has been a battle now here for about the last 25 laps, as this is for 4th on back.
Yeah, and I'm the kind of guy, I'm just enjoying watching right now. This is amazing.
Cody Early up ahead. So this car battle here remains. Up front, Dylan Perry still leading Lassiter. Lassiter just lurking about a tenth of a second back as you see him close. Not looking to make a move as of yet. Waiting to pounce on Dylan is Jacob Lassiter. Jacob Lassiter looking for his second career Pro Late Model Dirt Series win. We saw his win last year, which was great to see from an original driver of the series, as we've now got 20 laps to go.
Man, Young and Hicks and Young, they continue to go back and forth, but right now Aiden Young finally has that top 5 spot, up 6 from where he started. And man, I gotta change the smoke. Oh, the caution comes out. Not sure for what, but oh, Cody Early's getting risen right now in the pits.
So we have 18 laps to go. This will shake things up, Adam. We saw the front two leading out front by a couple of seconds. Saw some great battles on the track, but everyone that was waiting to go or wanting, I think of a Jason Crow who worked his way up to third, but then was 2 seconds behind. Didn't really have a move on those leaders to come unless a caution came. And that it did, as it came out all over here on lap number 42.
Yeah, and you can see some of these guys, there's damage on some of these cars, and I think a lot of these guys are just trying to finish. But it resets the deck. And I always say that after kind of a long run and then you get a caution is, the only one that really hurts is a guy like Dylan Perry. I mean, and maybe not. Maybe he had to scratch his nose. Maybe he had an itch he couldn't get to, or maybe he needed a drink of water. But for the rest of the guys, it kind of gets you back to where you need to be and make your move. You got Aiden Young up 6 or 7 spots. I mean, he may have killed his momentum. I don't know. So all these guys just trying to finish it right now. And you're right. We hope to not see another caution come out, but we'll see.
As lights are still on that pace truck up ahead, it's time to loosen the grip, stretch a little bit, as we've got 18 laps to go here, as it's going to be white knuckling all 18 laps. So it's time to reach up there, get a good grip.
And that's the thing. I don't know how much grip the rubbers on these cars have right now, and I don't know if that matters on this track, or if they're good just kind of slipping and sliding and getting to the finish line. But tire wear has been a topic that we talked about a lot more last year when it first was implemented, but haven't done as much this season. But no, I didn't mean to cut you off, Travis. I know you're leading really a great thought there. So we'll see how this plays out, though.
So 2 by 2, they get ready to go. There's Aiden Young up there into the 4th spot now as things are shaken up. Perry will lead us to green. Green flag waves. Lassiter to the outside, just like last time. Dylan Perry able to jump up in front of the 51. Now Jason Crow's looking to the inside of Lassiter for second, seeing that it's his opportunity to strike. He's a rookie we've talked about a lot this season, and he would love to grab his first victory here in the series at Bristol.
He sure would, and there's some drivers around him like Aiden Young who would like to return to victory lane. It's been quite some time, and this is a similar situation to what Brandon Bender saw, exactly where Aiden Young was, where he was riding that bottom line, and all it took was one driver to join him and almost spook him into the fence. So I think that outside line is where you want to be, but Lassiter's going to have to do what he did in the first heat race to get by Perry, and that's make a move about now.
So 16 laps to go. Dylan Perry leading this pack. You can see everyone behind him. 2 by 2. It is a 6-car breakaway. half the field here, as it's Perry, Young, Lassiter, Marlowe, Crow, and Haight.
Yeah, maybe Aiden Young saved some of his car by not doing the practice laps. It looked like he was a little rusty. He was bumping around back there, but it looked like Young was rusty in his Houston Guttering time trials qualifying run. But my goodness, he's up to second right now, and I think he's got the speed no one else has, and that could include Dylan Perry.
Aiden Young now up there to the inside of Perry. Wasn't expected here midway through. He got stuck in that 6-7 spot, and he's made his way to the lead as he'll power his way to the inside of Dylan Perry. He will clear him coming off of 4. He will lead with 12 laps to go.
This is unreal what we're seeing. He's had some tough luck. He's been involved in some, whether it's just contact that wasn't his fault. But if Aiden Young can pull this off, which he looks like he's got the speed to do it, this would be incredible as Perry loses another spot to Kenny Haight.
When you've got to think tires could be coming into play here as this is late and these two start pulling away. Hayden Young rode in that 6th to 8th spot and just was taking it real easy through a majority of the race. Haight was in that group as well. He was a little bit more racy than Aiden Young, and now of them appear to have better tires left here with 10 laps to go as they're side by side for the lead.
Yeah, and I'm not one to ever question Dylan Perry's strategy, but it seems like he kind of let these boys go, and maybe he's got something in the tank. I don't know, but gosh, with less than 10 laps remaining, I'm nervous for everyone right now. Haight, Young, Hinkle now. Perry wouldn't even finish on the podium. Oh, caution comes out.
Brandon Bender in the pits. Cody Early, you see his front clip off. Ooh, Kendrick Hicks, plenty of damage there. Oh, there goes the tire.
Oh, into the wall. Hopefully everyone's okay.
As we will. Caution flag comes out. Under 10 laps to go here, Adam. And it's Kenny Haight, your leader. Aiden Young second. They had pulled away from Dylan Perry and others until that caution came out. Now they're going to have to restart with our back-to-back defending champion. And it looks like Dylan Perry is coming to the pits. He must be thinking 9 laps, some fresh tires will be enough to get to the lead.
Fresh rubber in Bristol is just, it does wonders for you. And so we saw it in the Cup Series race. I mean, this track, I don't care if it's asphalt or dirt, you got a shootout. I mean, I saw a clip on Twitter/X earlier today of Kyle Larson, a really great dirt racer. And, when he got new tires at Bristol, my goodness, that boy could fly. And I think we're going to see that. If you have the cleanest tires, it's literally like a video game. You can just pass so smoothly. That control it's night and day, right? And so this could be a heck of a shootout.
So just looking at what we have, Dylan Perry will line up 9th. Only 9 cars on the lead lap. You have Kendrick Hicks in 10th. He's a lap down. Cody Early in 11th. He is 9 laps down. Brandon Bender down 10 laps. Hayden Swanee out on lap number 36, so 15 laps down there. So you're going to have Dylan Perry, Tyler Benefield lining up 8th and 9th with fresh shoes on those vehicles with 9 laps to go and get to the front.
And those pace truck lights just came off, so we'll do one more time by, and then, might this be our last time having to go through some pace laps? It might be. And before you know it, folks, do want to remind you that we will have the top 3 finishers here on a post-race broadcast up in the booth. And we bring it to you with joy, and honestly, no idea who is going to be coming.
Pace truck to the infield. Kenny Haight, a good jump there. He's able to separate from Hayden Young. Single file restart with only 8 laps to go.
Yeah, keep an eye on it right now. Perry starting 9th, already up to 8th. Will Dylan Perry continue to climb? He basically needs to move up a spot per lap. Marlowe and Lassiter swap. I don't know what kind of finish we're about to see here. There's so much different, tire wear in play right now. This is crazy. As you see Perry trying to continue to climb, he's running out of time with less than 7 laps to go.
And you can see he has not made up any ground yet, so those new tires not coming into play yet. As Dylan Perry does go around Jason Crow, now up to 6th. As he's working the inside of Colin Voiles, now the inside of Lassiter. And with 6 laps to go, this is going to be a fun one, as it's Kenny Haight out front. He's got a second over Evan Hinkle, who's to the outside of Aiden Young. Brandon Marlowe there in 4th. You see Dylan Perry now working the outside of Marlowe as they're side by side in front of him too. Kenny Haight continues to lead his lead now 1.5 seconds, 4 laps to go. Dylan Perry up to the 3rd spot. He'll go by Evan Hinkle as Evan gets into the wall there, and now it's Dylan Perry trying to chase down Kenny Haight for the lead with what will be 3 laps to go.
Oh my goodness, this is must-see racing. Dylan Perry, in a matter of seconds, really goes from 8th to 2nd. Oh my gosh, tires matter so much. You're seeing it on your screen, the battle for first. He's closing in, but I don't know if he's going to have enough time. As we approach the white flag, I'd like to see who's going to finish 3rd at least. This looks like your top 2. Final lap, Dylan Perry may not have enough.
He's 0.6 of a second behind. You can see that gap close through 1 and 2, down to 0.4, half of a second down the backstretch. Through 3 and 4, our rookie Kenny Haight looking for his first Pro Late Model Dirt Series victory, and he will get it at Bristol over Dylan Perry. Evan Hinkle in 3rd, Marlowe 4th, Benefield in 5th. So 0.27 seconds will be the win for Kenny Haight as he picks up his first victory in the series during his rookie season, as we will have the top 3 drivers joining us here momentarily.
Wow, and heartbreak right now, looking at that 8th spot for Aiden Young. Not sure what went wrong, but man, it felt like he was coming to a second career win, but I did not predict that on many levels. My goodness, what a race. What a race. So we're working on getting you those drivers in the broadcast waiting room. Definitely eager to hear their perspective and what was a wild finish. You saw a ton of lead changes in the NASCAR Cup Series on Sunday, a record breaking them out. Man, we sure saw a lot of movement there in our race, and it was just amazing.
As we'll throw it down to the front stretch, Adam, it looks like you've got our 2nd place finisher, Dylan Perry.
Yeah, Dylan, what was it, 9 laps to go? We were like, man, is he going with the strategy? Is it too late? Did that caution come out maybe 2 laps too late for the strategy you basically almost executed perfectly there at the end?
Yeah, I definitely needed about 2 more laps, or if I'd have planned a little further ahead, that caution we had before, I probably should have went in and reassessed what I was doing. But at the end of the day, it wasn't my night to win, but I at least felt like I put on a pretty good show for those last 10 laps or 8, however many we had left.
Oh my gosh, you did. Just when you rewatch the broadcast, if you do, I would fast forward to those last 10 laps, and that was just a masterclass. And you're starting to tick away. You didn't exactly make up too much ground really around lap 8 or 7, but then it just started clicking. And do you feel like, let's say that last caution didn't come out, do you think you could have just held on to the lead from the tires that you had, or are you even on this podium if there wasn't a caution?
I mean, it kind of depends on how the cards fell. Like, whenever me and Leicester got stretched out, I think it was a little past halfway before we had that caution after that long run. If it had stayed like that, I think me and him would have ended up racing pretty hard for the rest of the race, and we could probably held on to a podium. But that caution kind of hindered me a little bit for how hard I was pushing early to try to at least open up enough room so that if a caution or if it went green, I didn't have to worry too much about the rest of the field catching back up to us.
Awesome. Well, man, that was real fun to watch. Hope we get to watch more finishes like that later this year, whether you're, and maybe next time you'll be on the top spot. But before we let you go, why don't you shout out some of those partners?
Yeah, first and foremost, I could always thank Andy Piercefield and his whole family. They've been a tremendous help to me, and I don't know where I'd be without them, but I really don't want to imagine that too much. I'm thankful for everything they've done and for everything he's done. Everybody over at Evans Air Conditioning, all you guys over at Extreme eSpeed TV, Piercefield Media Group, CVR Race Cars, Rapid Race Graphics, CV Used Cars and Parts, MSW Construction, SHP Mafia, Coyote Media, Phantom Race Engines, GFP, FHP, all the guys over at Chipbangers Racing. They helped me out more than I think I could ever thank them for. Combs Cuts, B&B Custom Baits, BPRC, just everybody that helps me week in and week out to make sure I can at least try to perform on race day.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Dylan. Congrats on a heck of a show, and hopefully we'll be talking to you maybe next week.
Hopefully so.
That's Dylan Perry, our second place finisher, now joining us. Our third place finisher tonight, and our Buttkicker Hard Charger Award winner, Evan Hinkle, up 7 spots from 10th to 3rd. Evan, walk us through your eventful night where you were up to 2nd there late in that race.
Yeah, I burnt my right rear up, I think. It was coming down to it, and I know I had to go. But I've played every race this year that I've been in pretty safe, tried to save a right rear, so I figured tonight I was going to go with it, and I was going to do little Dakota Knuckles and Brian Smith stuff as they would do at Tazewell on this high bank at Bristol, so I did that and come up through the field.
Well, you come away with a podium, so it worked out in the end. You had a chance there with Kenny there that final restart. What was your strategy going into those final 9 laps, and what were you hoping to be able to come away with?
I was hoping it would fire off a little better and go around that top, but I wasn't easy on it neither. I was about wide open all the way around. I was getting a little excited, but that's what happens. It's racing.
We saw tires come into play there at the end. Was that something you were thinking about earlier in the race, or did you not really have that come into play until the end there?
No, I figured tires wouldn't be the worst part because car's pretty straight here if you can keep them straight, and it was just go for it.
Well, a great finish for you, Evan. I think that's your first career podium finish here in the series, so congratulations on that. Any sponsors or anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Smith Gutters and Siding, Smith Sealing, Hoosier Tires South, Zach Newton for doing my wraps, Drew Hopkins for doing all he can to help me out. Let me see here. Mom, Dad, anybody that helps me get to do what I like to do. So that's about it, I guess. I think I roughed somebody up maybe a couple times. I'm sorry, but I was due this after a bad qualifying thing. So.
Well, it was a great run. It was nice talking to you tonight, Evan, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
It's Evan Hinkle. He is our 3rd place finisher tonight. Now we'll throw it down to victory lane as Kenny Hates with Adam Johnson.
That's right. I'm joined by our race winner. First time in this series. And first of all, Kenny, congratulations. But second, how stressful is it when you've got defending champ, points leader Dylan Perry about 0.27 seconds away at the very end and just barreling down?
I was hoping like no tomorrow that I didn't pit just a little too soon. We had that late race caution, and Perry went in, took a new set of tires, and he was rolling. And I knew if it was just 3 more laps that was it. There was nothing I could have done. He was just moving way too quick for me to do anything about it.
Well, yeah, and you kind of led right into what I was going to say in the sense that we were talking earlier on this broadcast, with Dylan Perry, and he was saying, man, if I had probably 2 more laps, I could have been the difference. But I guess from your perspective, if that late race caution doesn't happen, where do you think you finish up? Do you think you just completely, do you think you could catch up to Dylan Perry, or do you think that late race caution was the moment?
I pitted sooner than he did, so I had a really good run. If that late race caution wouldn't have happened, I think I would have been pretty well okay throughout. But once he took those tires, that was it. He was rolling. Like, I don't think I could have done anything about it.
Well, we haven't had the chance really to chat with you this season, and so kind of want to get your perspective as one of the newer guys in this series. What's it like being in the Pro Late Model Dirt Series? And it's got to feel good not only to get this first win, but just give us, we are at the halfway point of the season. Give us kind of your take on this series halfway through your time here.
Like I said last week at I-55, this is a tough crowd. It's hard to run with these guys. I mean, there's a lot of good drivers here. You got Marlowe's and Lassiter's and the Perrys and, Bender. I'm not sure how he finished tonight. They're usually, some of the front running guys, and, even Jason Crow being a rookie, he's always fast. So, to be this far up with them, it feels pretty damn good. I ain't gonna lie.
It should. A heck of a race to watch, man. You put on a heck of a show. And before we let you go, I want to give you a chance to shout out those partners.
Yeah, so Hot Lap Heroes, they've been a fantastic team, constantly supporting, always working together, trying to figure stuff out, how we can get faster, and a whole lot of racing together. Larson Logistics, Marco's Moose Ranch Hair Care and Tire Center, and podcast now. Tintech Seamless Guttering, Crow Trucking, Rattlecan Man Designs, Farthest North Race Shop, and then a huge shout out to my wife for watching our daughter, who just turned 4 months today, so being able to take a win on top of that was nothing short of awesome.
Man, you're winning in all areas of life, man. We're so happy for you, and hope we get to talk to you maybe even as soon as next week.
Well, here's to hoping.
Well, with that is our top 3 finishers here from Bristol Motor Speedway, as another exciting night of Pro Late Model Dirt Series action comes to a close. As always, thank you for tuning in. I'm Travis Pearsall, joined as always with Adam Johnson. We thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you at a racetrack soon.
This copyrighted broadcast of Extreme eSpeed TV Network is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without express written consent of the Extreme eSpeed TV Network is strictly prohibited. We hope you've enjoyed this broadcast.